Hello and welcome to another Puzzling Time video. Today I'm going to show you this puzzle, but before I do, I want to explain why I'm going to show you this puzzle. Puzzling is an expensive hobby. There are people out there who produce exceptionally good quality puzzles. These are individuals like Tom Lench and Robert Yager. There are individuals as well who have companies like Cubic Dissection and Wood Wonders, but they just can't keep up with demand. And the prices keep going up because of materials and labour, but still they sell out so quickly. So some puzzles you can't get hold of very easily, and if you can get hold of them, they can be quite costly. Now, one of the ways that the market has combated this in recent years is the massive increase in printed puzzles. And 3D printed puzzles are fantastic. You can get a really great designed puzzle for relatively cheap. And you can get some puzzles that actually can't even be made in wood, produced by extremely skilled craftsmen who have perfected how to use their machines, and definitely check out printed puzzles. But still there's this demand for wooden puzzles. People look at mechanical puzzles and they kind of instantly think still that, you know, kind of wooden puzzles is the where we need to be, the top end. But actually, if we move away from that kind of premier level of wooden kind of puzzle creation, there are still a lot of companies that are producing relatively low cost wooden puzzles. And this is a fantastic place to get started if you're still new to the puzzling community, or if you've got a smaller budget. Now, some of these companies like Creative Craft House or SiamMandalay, like this one here, they're going strong. They've got some good puzzles to check out, and there's also ones like Rommel, which is closing down but has still got some stock in place. And you can get these puzzles at most retailers. So you can get these at places like Crux, JP Games, Puzzle Master. Links will be below. So definitely don't just think, oh, well, if it's a wooden puzzle, I've got to get a top quality high-end puzzle, right? Think about those alternatives. And thinking about those alternatives, maybe get my hand on this puzzle. This is the Giant Hidden Passage puzzle by SiamMandalay. And I got hold of this because I thought, well, it's a relatively cheap puzzle and I want to see what it's like from unboxing to disassembly and hopefully solve. So let's open this box up. The label's on the front here. Try not to slice my finger open. Okay, so SiamMandalay, all about sustainability. They use sustainable woods. They don't tend to wax varnish their end product, so you don't get that kind of finish to their products, but it's all kind of very natural. So a nice little thank you there. What else do we have? We have what I presume to be the solve, but I can see here it goes up to 66 moves. So not an easy puzzle. And then there's a little package in the bottom there, which is still rattling around. It's not all solid, so humidity hasn't been an issue. So first impression, okay, it's been stored pretty well. It's got kind of the humidity pack in there, nice little box, and instructions as well. Again, if you're new to puzzles, you're probably more likely to turn to the instructions early on than someone who's not. The puzzle itself, okay, so it's not too bad, I'll be honest. I can feel it rattles a bit, but it's not falling apart. There's no rough edges to it. It's actually very smooth. It's been sanded very nicely. Now, all these puzzles at SiamMandalay, nice little motif here, are all handmade as well. So you're not going to be looking for machine cut, absolutely kind of perfect lines, but you should get a very functional puzzle that actually gives it quite a nice rustic look. And I'll be honest, first impression, I quite like the look of this puzzle. I'm now going to take it apart, so if you don't want to see how it comes apart, then please look away now. There's a spoiler alert. And I will put a time somewhere to say where you should skip to if you'd like to see my final thoughts. So let's take it apart. So this is like a truck style puzzle, and these seem to be coming out relatively simply. Oh wow, that's interesting. That's like a half piece or a quarter piece. Wasn't expecting that. Oh, we definitely have some kind of funky stuff going on in the middle here. Interesting. And it's all starting to come apart now as we've taken out these key pieces. Right, there we go. So there's our pieces kind of suitably mixed up. Let's have a look at the quality of them. So this is, obviously we can see where it's been made. We can see some of the cut marks. The outside of the puzzle actually look really nice. The inside, some pieces, even some of these intricate ones, aren't too bad, but others, just looking, do look a little bit rough. So you've got to bear that in mind. You know, this is a really nice kind of puzzle, but don't expect all the burr sticks to be kind of perfect on the inside. But then that's not what we want. We want a high quality kind of feel on the outside, and we want it to be, you know, if I find a puzzle that's going to be handmade, I want to see some of those maker marks. So actually not too bad, quite impressed so far from what I've seen. Putting this back together. Right. Okay, this is my second attempt at trying to solve this, because my first attempt, which took me about 15 minutes, I got to within 2 minutes of putting the pieces together, the last two pieces in, and I realised the last two pieces aren't going to fit. So I thought, well, I'll take it apart and I'll go through the solve again so I can go over all those points rather than you listening to me ramble for 15 minutes and see me fail. So I've taken the key piece out and these short pieces. And in my rebuild, I'm not going to kind of talk about the solve aspects too much, but my aim is to kind of keep a square in the middle. So the pieces, as we know, they're not too rough on the inside, although you can see some of the working marks, and some of the pieces are probably a little bit kind of smoother than others, but that is kind of what we would expect from a puzzle that's kind of handmade and pays so much attention really to its heritage as a sustainable company with a sustainable kind of attitude to its wood production. So when they're not using loads of kind of varnishes and waxes and stuff like that. The build goes together very nicely. I don't have problems with putting these pieces in. And why would you buy from SiamMandalay if you're new? Well, you might want to try out different types of puzzle. So you might not be used to a burr puzzle or a truck puzzle or a particular style of puzzle. And this is a great company for looking at those different types of puzzle. I don't have a lot of burr puzzles really compared to some people, and I certainly don't have a lot of truck puzzles, so maybe I don't want to spend a fortune searching around for someone to make me an expensive truck puzzle. Actually, this is very, very nice, different and enjoyable. So even someone like me, who's been puzzling for a while, can get a great deal of information from trying out puzzles like this. So I'm going to try and find the right piece to go in. That's the long stick. These longer ones are towards the end. That is not where I messed up. So I need to get the longer brown sticks in here, keeping this square. So I'm not sure what kind of woods are being used here. Might be it's kind of a walnut style. It's not very dark to be walnut, but it's very nice. And when things are aligned, it goes together very, very easily. So far, very impressed really with what Siam I've sent here. It's a very enjoyable build. I should have a mirror image of that one. There we go. Now, when putting puzzles together like this, I would always suggest, if you are new to puzzling, don't look at those instructions. Have a go. If you're successful, really well done. And if you're not, don't get frustrated. Just put it to one side and try again another time. Because the enjoyment of puzzles is completing them from your own kind of intelligence and your own ability. And as you get better at puzzles, you'll be able to solve them much quicker. Now this is quite an intricate move. I've got to put a piece in and move it in 2 or 3 directions. So this is kind of a real test to see what kind of quality we have, as in will it hold together as I move pieces around. First one's a little bit dexterous. It's going in okay. That should help clamp it a little bit. I think if I go for this bottom corner down here, that should help clamp it even more. Concentrating. You can tell I'm concentrating. I stopped talking. There we go. So they went in quite smoothly, quite nicely. I guess the benefit of puzzles like this isn't just that they're relatively low cost. I don't dwell on that too much, but also you can pass these around and show people and show friends. And if you're someone like me who takes a lot of puzzles in to show people, so I take puzzles in to allow work friends, or because actually I'm a teacher, I actually allow kids to kind of play with puzzles. Good for their spatial awareness and their kind of patience and their resilience. There's a lot of positive reasons to be a puzzler. But these puzzles, I'm not too worried if they drop a piece, or even if they lost a piece. It's not the end of the world. Whereas if I've been waiting online for an 8 o'clock drop, knowing that it's going to sell out at 8:01, and it's going to cost me, maybe $90 or $100 or something silly for a puzzle like this, I'm not going to be wanting to share that, because that would be kind of deeply upsetting if I've lost the piece to a puzzle that I can't easily replace and kind of cost me a fair amount of money. Whereas something like this, it's not the end of the world. So, solved. And what do we think of this solve? Well, actually, I think it's really good. Like I say, it's pretty solid. That key piece isn't just kind of falling out. You have to push it out. And yeah, the outside quality, really, really good. Inside, you can see those working marks. Looks a little bit rough. But honestly, this is a company and this is a style of product that is definitely worth checking out if you either want to see different puzzle styles, or if you want to see a different company and see what they can produce. Check them out. Link's going to be below, and hopefully get some feedback. Tell me if any of the other companies that you know do produce puzzles like this, or any of the puzzles that you bought off SiamMandalay that you think I should check out next. Thanks a lot. See you soon.